So we are currently in our first programme. It started in January this year. We had 8 women and still have 8 women on the programme for a paid placement of 6 months. Initially, the concept and design and Julianne's sort of top tips, we have obviously kind of worked through those quite closely, and we partnered with Julianne Miles, and that was really important for me in terms of having that kind of external partnership, that external network, but also that best practice. So we were really able to explore some of the best practices out there, some of the things that we'd learned, the kind of the do's and don'ts of the programme, and use that for the design and planning. And that enabled me to really think about what does success look like, what does good look like, what do we try to achieve with the programme. And then we spent an awful lot of time, and you can see in terms of the timeline, March to July, that was where we spent most of the time really getting that internal stakeholder engagement. That was board level, that was our senior exec, that was the key business heads. And I got the business heads to recommend their key champion for the different business area and put together a steering committee. And that's where we tested a lot of the design and concepts of the programme. So that's where we all agreed it was going to be a 6-month programme. We sort of roughly agreed numbers. We were aiming for sort of between 5 to 10 women, and kind of tested a lot of those kind of top tips, if you like. What we really wanted to do, and it's come through a number of themes, I wanted to make sure we absolutely have permanent headcount at the end of it. So we have done across all of our business areas. We've got investment areas, we have some functions, and actually it was more our distribution and investment areas that participated, which was brilliant. But we really wanted to make sure that we were mapping it to where headcount existed at, what we hoped at the end of the 6 months. So therefore the role profile was sort of a one generic role profile that covered all the different business areas and some of the key backgrounds that we wanted. And we had a minimum 2-year career break threshold for people to be on the programme. Flexible working, we really led with that from the front. So I didn't want the onus to be on an individual to have to come in and try and ask for flexible working. So we led with that at the forefront on the role profile, and with each of the business heads, so the steering committee, we literally went around the room and said that we would support flexible working if it came up, and sort of put that at the forefront. The attraction campaign, so we absolutely utilised Julianne and her fabulous network. We used our paid media company that we have on site here to help us with the social media campaign and putting out through job boards, so helping us with the language, etc. that went out. We absolutely used our employee referrals and our networks, our women's network and our other communities to really spread the word. And to Rachel's point, sort of being at the school gates and sort of trying to bring people back in. And then we also ran an external information day. So we were aiming between sort of 5 to 10 women. I appreciate that we wouldn't be able to kind of give homes to everybody who was interested. So when we shortlisted our applicants, we had about 50 people that we invited in for an external information day. And that was really just to sort of help them on that journey and that transition. So whether they were working for us or for another employer, we wanted to just give them some confidence building and some tips in terms of how to come back to the market. The selection and assessment piece, we did a very much a values-based assessment, so looked at sort of some of the qualities that are really important for us at Aviva Investors and what helps people be successful here, rather than basing it too much on past experience and past skills, because we wanted to, kind of really go down some of the transferable skills piece. We then did a sort of a shortlist against where we knew there were opportunities within the business, so kind of bringing some of that past experience where that could kind of really map into our business. And then we brought our shortlisted individuals back in for face-to-face interviews with our business heads and our recruiters. So I have specialist recruiters aligned to the different business areas, and I really matched the CVs to those recruiters so they could talk from a position of knowledge and expertise in terms of the types of skills that the applicants would have. And then, as I say, it was really important for us to match participants to business areas and roles, real roles, where there was headcount at the end of it. And then in terms of the programme, so it was a 6-month programme, we've done quite a lot around the participant support, and a lot of that was in discussions with Julianne and my previous experience at Credit Suisse. So we've talked a little bit about the support, the peer network that sort of develops through doing a programme. And that's fundamental, and you guys will probably sort of talk a little bit about that. That was critical to the success of that, to bring people in at the same time. We aligned all of the participants with a mentor and a buddy to help them navigate within the organisation, both sort of professionally, but also that sort of that friend, that ally in the organisation to help them with that transition. We did do sort of bespoke external coaching. We actually partnered with Julianne, women returners, to have training throughout the 6-month period. And we also used another external trainer to really help and support that whole journey through. So recognising where they were at the beginning through to how they would sort of develop through that 6 months. And we also gave our line managers a lot of support. We appreciate it is an intensive programme. Some of the managers will be sort of more skilled and more kind of au fait with people having had breaks and coming back. So we really wanted to provide some support and coaching for them, and just being around as a sort of an HR team to support them on that journey as well.